So the Linux file system is very important to understand. At the top of the file system there is the root directory. And the root directory basically is the starting point of everything. So in the root directory there's a couple of default directories that you will find at all time. Let me draw it like this, like they are falling directly under the root directory. For example, there is the boot directory, which contains everything your system needs to start up. And let me talk about a couple of other examples as well, like the USR directory, which is a very important directory that contains program files, basically. And then we have another directory, which is etc. And etc is the directory that contains configuration files. And there are many more directories. I'm not going through all of these directories right now. I just want you to get the idea of the Linux file system and the way it is organized. Now let's talk about the home directories. And let's do that in red. Now why is that? Because on the Linux file system, not everything has to be on the same disk. The idea when working with Linux files is that devices are mounted into the file system hierarchy. So the home directory, for instance, can be on your disk, but it can be somewhere remotely as well. So mounting devices on a file system is very important. And it kind of ties all the different devices up together to create one big hierarchy in which no differences between the devices are seen. Let's compare that to other operating systems like Windows, for example. On a Windows computer, you might be used to working with C:, which is your hard disk, and D:, which is your CD-ROM, and F:, which may be your network drive. On Linux it doesn't work that way. You just see one big file system hierarchy where different devices are mounted into the file system hierarchy. And let's add one more directory, which is MNT. MNT is typically what you could use as an administrator if you want to mount something manually yourself. I will explain in a later lesson how you will do that. And okay, one more directory, which is media. Because if you insert like an optical disc in your computer, it will get mounted automatically normally in the media directory. And this is basically the idea that I want you to have before starting to work with the Linux file system hierarchy. And all the other directories that matter, well, we will see them later in this course when I'm talking about the topics that are directly related to those directories.